Hello, hello. Welcome to HearthCenter. It's Wednesday, the best day of the week. We are excited to be here tonight for another episode. I'm Donde, as always, joined by TwoStarMako, who just corrected my Spanish in our private chat. Mako, how you doing tonight?
Bro, I'm telling you right now, I almost did that like into my headset just because this kid said, "Where's this at? Un minuta," and then corrected it to una, and I was like, "You're a dumbass."
I have no defense. I have no defense whatsoever. It was just a complete bastardization of the language, and I apologize to any of our Spanish-speaking viewers out there.
It's Hispanic Heritage Month too, and you're just trashing all over the language.
That's just embarrassing all around. So thanks for
How's that
correcting
feel?
me. Won't make
You're
the same
welcome.
mistake twice. Sure. And Tuna, who did not correct my use of the word minute in Spanish, however, did find it very hilarious, is here with us tonight. How you doing tonight, Tuna?
Doing pretty good. My expertise of foreign language is German, so y'all can speak Spanish. I don't know too much into that world. So
That's true. We need Ron Mexico here for that because he would be
Yeah.
the one that would be able to stay on Mako's level, perhaps.
I'm curious if Ron actually knows Spanish.
I'm pretty
I don't think
sure
he does.
this was. He doesn't. I think this was
Yeah,
brought. I brought this up to him at one point, and he was like, "The name and my person are completely different people."
Well, yeah, because Ron Mexico was the pseudonym that Mike Vick used when he played in the NFL to stay at hotels. So had nothing to do with
and
with
other
Mexico.
things, but we're not going to discuss.
Well,
the
yes,
other things.
that was how it was discovered, from what I understand. But
Yeah.
but that's neither here nor there tonight. We are going to be talking about quite a few things, as you can see. The agenda is pretty full this evening. We got the Week 4 meta report, which we will lead off with as we do. We'll talk about what happened last week in Pro, Week 4, of course. And in between going to our preview of Week 5, we will talk about the Legacy player power rankings, the Hero player power rankings. This is the initial reveal of those top 10. We usually do top 10 and then 5 honorable mentions, so it'll effectively be the top 15 of each series, and we'll have a little bit more information about that when we arrive at that portion of the show. But for now, why don't we start talking about what we saw last week in the meta? And I actually found a few things kind of interesting. Let me pull it up here so everybody can see. All right. So no lineup had more than 4 instances, and most of the top lineups had 3. So there was like a concentration of the most popular lineups, but nothing really kind of soared head and shoulders above the rest. And even the ones that were winning still had a loss. Like they were 2-1 in most cases, or 1-2 in the worst cases of the three time appearing lineups here. And I find it interesting that they were so diverse. Like look at all these lineups here. There is not really a lot of common thread here, other than maybe Druid being in all but one of them, I think is the only real common thing. Warrior, same thing. Tuna, what do you think about the lineups that were brought last week?
I just want to bring up the first lineup without Druid in it. You see that third deck in there, or that third class in there? Shaman.
Yee.
You know?
I see that 100% win rate down there.
Oh, is it?
Well,
No,
let's slow our roll.
No, that's
bit.
Warlock.
Sorry.
I looked in different spots.
You know, but it's exciting to see this this new class to Hearthstone, you know, start to do well.
Yeah, it's about time
about
time they release the 10th class.
Yeah.
Like we've been going on since like beta. You know, people have been saying like, are they ever gonna release the 10th class? Like, is it gonna be 9 forever? And it's about time they release that 10th one.
Yeah, so Shaman's here, and it's ready to play some Hearthstone, you know?
Yeah.
And,
just don't look at the Hero Series stats, because I am single-handedly tanking those week by week.
If you want to look at those stats, you can tune into the VOD from yesterday.
Yes.
That would be Saloon.
Yeah,
And,
if you want to see the fact that I've opened all my Hero Series matches with Shaman and lost like all of them, but in Legacy it's the polar opposite and I've won all of them, then go right over there and check that out, because it's a time. I don't know what the difference between Hero and Legacy is when it comes to that, because it's the first match or the first game for me that I've been bringing Shaman for Hero and I keep losing it, so it's whatever. Hey, whoever's playing me next week in Hero, just get ready for that first game Shaman. for your free win because I can't
yeah,
win.
look forward to hearing about the 0-1 start next week.
For that, so whatever, it's fine.
But on a serious note, it is cool to see that Shaman was in a popular lineup that was successful. Just the fact that there's so many different ways to approach the open list format and be successful. And I'm sure that a lot of this kind of was inspired by some of the things that maybe people saw on Masters Tour Montreal, because there was a lot of information that came out. Obviously, all the lineups were revealed. Everybody saw how the classes played, how some of the pros played them, and this is healthy, I think, for THL right now, because there's a lot of ways you can go and be successful rather than feeling like you have to stick with the same 4, maybe 5 or 6 classes at most. And if you look at the bans down below, that's obvious too, because this is the first week that Warrior was not the de facto ban. We saw Druid be the most banned class, and then Warrior was second, but there were 4 bans in the double digits. So there's a lot of different ways you can take with your lineup. There's a lot of different ways you can go with your ban, and Paladin and Warlock apparently are very, very good in small sample sizes, but other than that, most of the classes stayed fairly even around, anywhere between 40 to 50%, so that you can win with almost anything, like except Warrior hard targeted when it got left up, which has been kind of the MO this season.
Yeah, it's it's kind of interesting. We talked about before, people are stuck in this like bring Warrior every week vibe because of last season and last what are those called, expansions, and it's happening still here, and Warrior's win rate's still it's abysmal. I mean, it's got 12 bans on it, but like the Warrior win rate is just like it's not good. But it's an automatic bring for a lot of people because we just went every single week for 4 months bringing nothing but Warrior and automatically clicking that Warrior button. So I don't know if that like mentality is gonna break anytime soon. But like you can practically bring any class you want, I feel like, at this point and do fine. So why is Warrior being brought in every single lineup?
Well,
And losing.
as we talked about, I think we're starting to see that mentality shift. And yes, Warrior was in
Are
6
we?
of the...
Because I'm looking right now.
Warrior was in 6 of the 7 most popular lineups, but we're seeing bans be spread out. We're seeing classes be spread out more, and I think that will naturally lend to Warrior being left on the chopping block as an optional bring. People will still bring it. It's definitely not a dead class, but I think that there's, like you said, there's merit to looking into other lineup options.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people have finally figured out how to play around like Bomb Warrior and stuff too. Like how
you don't draw the bombs. It's like real easy.
Well, not that. Like I know a lot of people, like small spell mage is supposed to be like quote unquote bad, like a bad matchup into Warrior. But I know a lot of people that we're starting to turn out like 70 to 80% win rates against Bomb Warrior because people are starting to figure out this is like the exact sequence that I need to start doing to ensure that like I have the best ability to beat Bomb Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
So. I think it's also stuff like that. It's just like, people are just starting to figure out because they see it so much on ladder, THL, the master stores and stuff like that. Like once you see enough of a deck, you start to figure out how it like really turns, and then you can start like being able to counterplay it a lot better.
Yeah, I agree with that. And all in all, I'm just excited and encouraged to see such a diversity in the classes. And I think this is probably, at least to my recollection, the most healthy that Pro meta-wise has been. At least in the last maybe 3 or 4 seasons, like going back all the way to the beta.
For sure. I think so for sure. I mean, I think each pro season has been dominated by like 1 to 3 decks. Like if you don't bring these 1 to 3 decks, like what are you doing? So this is very exciting. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Donde. To see all these classes.
Well, that might be the last time you agree with me tonight, so I'll savor it for now.
I mean, I can go look at these pick sheets and probably find at least 5 of these matches that we probably agree on.
All right. Well, I
see 5 in the first 5 picks.
Nice. All right. Well, before we get to that, because that's still a ways off, we're going to go ahead and talk about what happened last week. And I can think of no better way to introduce last week than to introduce the power rankings from the team power rankings, I should say, not the player ones, from our friends over the THL POW podcast. Matt at Arms, thank you so much for getting these over to us. POW, indeed. These are a combination of Matt at Arms, Isocles, and POWBot, the friendly, not Ranklytics bot that ranks the pro teams. So you can see, for those who are not familiar with the podcast or with the rankings here, C-Max says I am PowBot. I do not believe he is, but I can't rule it out.
I believe that.
I can't rule it out. So we've got the colors, of course, are like the colors of the cards, with orange being legend, purple being epic, blue being rare, and the gray being common. So that's how everything is ranked. The score in the middle is kind of like a raw score based on the strength of schedule you've played, the wins that you've amassed so far, and any golden names are the golden versions of that card, aka team, in which case they would be kind of on the cusp of breaking into the next tier. So you can see here we've got essentially a consensus on the top 3 teams right now as Hype Horizon, For the Boys, and Bad to the Bone. I find it hard to disagree with that. I don't know if you guys have any disagreements on the top 3.
No.
No.
Okay, so we'll leave it at that. they are the top 3. It's not disputable at this moment. Aeon, according to PowBot and Mad at Arms, top 4. Tap last, according to Isocles, and the overall aggregate top 4. So I find it interesting. Isocles doesn't even have Aeon in the top 5. Has Due Process ahead of Aeon. What's up with that, Isocles? Calling you out, my friend, because we beat Due Process.
Aeon should be lower.
Ooh.
Okay.
You know, you see that common area? Yeah, that's where Aeon belongs.
Oh, you mean kind of closer to where your team is right now?
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. I mean, you're not wrong, but
It's always fun to tear apart the power rankings for ones that I don't create, because I usually am the one on the receiving end of the beatings, verbally and whatnot. Sometimes physically. Who knows?
That you are. What? Okay. Damn, dude.
Hey,
you need to talk?
My cat gets aggressive sometimes. Yeah, it's
okay.
It's my daily struggle.
Can my guess be for why Due Process is getting ranked higher be because FBM2 and Goose are absolutely destroying everybody in their path?
I mean, they are definitely, and we will get to that, of course, when we talk about the match. But they are, like you said, crushing everything, and they're carrying.
FBM2 did join Due Process. Has only played 3 out of 4 games, so either subbed out, they were subbed out a week, or they joined in.
I think they joined week 2.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
week 2 sounds correct.
I think so as well.
I mean, that's my guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any other last second thoughts here before we move on to the actual recap?
Nope.
No. All right.
Join week 2. Oh, is that FBM2 right there?
Yeah, Valera's Bay is FBM2.
Yes.
Gotcha. I was like, I got a fan in my chat here. It's like HearthCenter. I was like, I don't know who this is. I literally clicked on it,
fans, no matter where they come from.
Yeah.
I literally clicked on it and clicked on messages, and I was like, who is this person? Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense. All right.
So as we roll into the recap here, we can see the picks, or at least the aggregate of the picks from last week. Brushy started off very poorly, but came back and recovered with a first place week, tying myself, thankfully, getting me out of the dumpster. At least, well, now Lotus joins me in the dumpster. I kind of dragged him down to my level, and Mako still hanging out in the middle. So very, very close on the picks so far. And was a little disappointed.
What do you mean in the middle? Bro, I'm in second place.
Yeah, the middle is between
the
first
middle
and
is
fourth.
you, because there's only, so it's first, second, and a tied for third.
Yeah,
so.
technically it's the middle.
Yeah.
I think it's just I think that's just Donde's way of making it sound like he's closer than he actually is.
No. He's only 2 off of you. What do you mean?
No, I mean to the top.
Oh yeah. I mean, Donde's gonna make himself feel good whenever he can.
We're coming for it. We're coming for that top spot. Don't you worry about it.
See, even FBM2 knows you're bad.
Donde bad. Yes.
Unfortunate. All right. Well,
this kid's name is Donde, and he says una minuta.
Okay, so it's pronounced Donde. It's not Donde because it's not where in Spanish. So it.
I don't know about you, bud, but if I typed in DONDE into Google, I'm gonna get a bunch of Spanish results.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Spanish to English, Spanish to English.
And you have to do that.
I know.
Go Donde.
Spanish to English. Yeah, well, that's what I did.
It's literally,
it's 12 links.
It's literally the entirety except for you get to the bottom, it's dondesearch.com.
Yeah, dondesearch.com.
It's probably gonna give me a virus to some fake website or something. Let's go to English translation of Donde. adverb meaning whence. That's new. Did you know that?
No.
You didn't? Oh, I didn't either. Evidently, yeah. That's interesting.
I'm not the Spanish teacher.
No, it's collinsdictionary.com, like an English dictionary, not an English
You're talking
Spanish
about an
dictionary.
English definition of the word.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's an adverb meaning whence, in case anyone was curious.
All right. Well, I don't think anyone was actually curious, so.
Well,
Well, let's move on to the actual recap of Week 4, starting with a match that I don't think went exactly like we expected, or actually exactly as I expected, but not as everybody expected. It was Bad to the Bone versus For the Boys. For the Boys with a win. They're 4-0 now. We knew that obviously one team would be undefeated and one team would take their first loss of the season here, but yeah, I think I was the only one who called it this way for the boys, and I called this exactly as it happened, with German Shep, Mata, and Dabs winning, with Adamos and Avi taking points for Bad to the Bone. So shout out to me. Y'all stink.
I had 4 out of 5.
And you had the wrong team winning, so congratulations. You stink.
I'm sorry that I wanted my co-host of Lotus Night to win, all right?
He wasn't even here last week, so I'm sure that did not play any role.
I still love Lotus, so I picked him.
Of course.
I had 2 out of these 5 right.
I mean, I find it hard to say too much about the matchup since I said everything I had to say about it last week, and it happened exactly. So, I guess what surprised you guys here? Like, obviously, Brushy, you thought Lotus was gonna go ahead and beat German Shep. That was the only difference you had. But what do you think Lotus is just like struggling? Like, he's not a 500 player typically. He's usually better than that, and he seems to be kind of struggling across the board in all series. And I know now we're kind of talking about him while he's not here to defend himself. But what do you think's going on with Lotus this season, Brushy?
I mean, everyone has a meta that like works better for them. So it could just be this meta. It's all. I mean, Lotus Knight's a fantastic player, so it could be something as simple as that.
For sure. Mako, any thoughts here?
Yeah. Sorry, I was sending you a message while you called on me.
Are you still attacking me?
Yeah. Here, I'll just say it out loud since I'm typing it.
I see the message.
I was saying when are you gonna capitalize my name right on stream, because the S and M are supposed to be capitalized on my name and the Twitter handle. It was like that last week too. But anyways, there you go. That's what I was sending you. Yeah, no, I'm not happy about this one, and sorry to Diamond and Squad, but I only got 2 of these 5 right, so not exactly the happiest. I got the obviously one right, and the dabs correct, but the other 3 I was wrong. So I think I keep underestimating Adamos because I'm your biggest fan. You think I'm your biggest fan because I accidentally got your matchup right last week. I think I keep underestimating Adamos because to me he's known as like, I feel like to me he's known more of as like a wild guy.
What?
Like a wild player, and no. I know that's not even correct, but like
that's not even close.
No, I know, but he's played wild, and so like when I see his name, and like the first time I saw his name as Adamos, it was when he was playing wild, because he subbed for me like 3 seasons ago on McBommel's, but his name was like Adam
222, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Like
his name was different, and he subbed for me, and he subbed like one time and lost the week, and then didn't sub again, but he hung around like our Discord and stuff. But he changed his name to Adamos.
Right, because at that point he was a human being, and now he has integrated into technology and become a cyborg as Adam.
Yeah,
OS.
it's actually it's Adam operating system. That's run by Walter.
Say it how you want. I'm reading this as We Adam.
We
Adam.
I understand that.
Ado, Adas, Ada, Adamos, Adan.
You just conjugated Adam for us.
I did. Yeah. You're right. So we add him, you add him, they add him, but I keep underestimating Mr. We Adam here. So, and I did it again this week. So just
Okay.
staying on the
You
train.
continue to be wrong.
Well, both these teams are still doing very well for themselves. For the boys, of course,
Absolutely.
stood pat at number 2, dragged Bad to the Bone down below them into number 3. For the team that is going to be revealed here in the next match, Hype Horizon really brought it to Canadian Clown Fiesta last week. A full sweep in terms of games, 20-point week to only 7 for Canadian Clown Fiesta. So Hype Horizon is our number 1 team, of course. This is, I guess, them kind of ascending to the spot that we had predicted for them, and we'll see how long they hold on to it. And again, I predicted a sweep for Hype Horizon, so I am killing it right now. But Brushy, I will give you your due because you also said that this was going to be a Hype Horizon sweep.
Oh.
I want to say, like, Canadian Clown Fiesta, obviously the team that they were last season is essentially the same as they are this season, and just struggling a little bit more than they were last time around. And of course, we can all bring that to point towards the meta, like we talked about, like we said with Lotus Knight. But at the same time, I think it's just that there's a lot of really, really tough teams out there, and their strength of schedule has been one of the higher ones. They're playing a lot of those really tough teams out of the gate, and I think they'll kind of stabilize a little bit here as the season goes on. But I don't know if that's going to be enough for them to get into the playoff picture this time around. Brushy, since I know you and I both had this as a sweep.
Poor Saku.
Poor Saku. I love you, Saku. Glad to hear that you're not going to get pummeled by a hurricane this week. That's always encouraging, to not have to worry about that. But hopefully that means better things for your team this week in Week 5. Mako, I'll give the floor to you here because you were almost on the sweep train. You thought Corden was going to have it over Gamer RVG,
Correct.
but it didn't quite get there. So what do you think about this?
Yeah, so I mean, it went almost. I mean, it went pretty much as we expected, I should say. I mean, I had one single difference, but suckers. But yeah. So I mean, it went as expected. It's the Washu effect. They're this season's Washu. We talked about it, week 2 and last week. They lost the first week, and then they're just absolutely murdering everybody now. So it's everything's going as planned.
Yep.
Working as intended.
Yeah, not too much else to say since the predictions were fairly spot on to what we expected. But I do think there'll be better days ahead for Canadian Clown Fiesta as their schedule stabilizes a bit. Though right now they were one of the bigger drops of the week, 3 spots down to 11th.
Yeah, and they were the third toughest schedule so far
right now. Yep.
Yeah. So hopefully that turns around for them. They should be able to pick up some points here and see if they can make a playoff push.
Definitely. All right, moving on to game number 3, Aeon versus F2L. This was a much hyped one, but you can boo it. That's fine, whatever. Aeon versus F2L is kind of one of those institution type matches that happen every season, and always one that each team I think gets extra psyched for. I know Itachi personally and I have a blood rivalry, so I was very excited to play against him, and the outcome was certainly in my favor. 3-1 win there for me. Glee swept Neji Boss, and I think that was actually the first result of the week, if I remember correctly. Markshire did not get the W over Berserk, but Arhat and Risen both pulled it out with Snake beating Snake and Jammies respectively. So a very tight match, not a whole lot of points for both the teams. Aeon stands pat at 4th, whereas F2L drops a few spots down to 8th. So they're just, they're the ones with the hardest schedule so far. So they are in good enough position, I think, that they can recover where they are with an easier schedule down the stretch. But a big win here for Aeon as we move to 3-1. So I definitely like that. Brushy, you know that I picked Aeon in a sweep, so I was not correct because I'm a homer. But what did you think about this one?
Honestly, these matchups are all I think super close in player skill. So this whole series could have gone either way. This would I predicted this one to be close, and as we could see, 13-11, it was extremely close. So almost it went exactly how I thought it would go, but I just didn't guess which way the players would take it.
Mako, what do you think about how Aeon did last week?
Well, I got 2 of these right.
Oof. No faith.
Yep. I got no faith. 4/5 of my faith went into my team here.
Not one of the winners though.
I'm about to say what I'm gonna say, and I'll leave it at this. 4/5 of my faith went into this team, and 3 of my players let me down.
Ouch.
So take that as you will.
I mean, didn't one of your players also kind of help you since you always pick against them in a way?
It is an extra motivating factor for me.
They help your team win, so it's like they
Yeah.
cancel each other out.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like priorities. Which one do I have to? Do I care about my picks or do I care about the
easy
team?
picks.
Yeah, motivate. That's fine.
Like me making picks doesn't actually affect how these game outcomes are going to turn. So it's fine.
Fish said Warlock won because I was the one who brought Warlock in this one, and that's true. Warlock did win, and it was ridiculous. I basically did all the damage to myself about as fast as humanly possible, and I got down to, I think it was 2, and I drew out on his warrior. So it was super unfavored, super ridiculous, but it was the only line I had, and it was just crazy. So, but basically I drew exactly what you needed to draw as Warlock to win. So that's what you need to do as Warlock, is just get super lucky.
C-Mac coming in with the hot spicy memes.
Top 10 anime betrayals. Got it. I'm on it.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah, man. Get quicker, bro.
Google Translate it.
It's for Donde because Donde's name is Spanish.
Si, senor. Match number 4 last week was the Unknown and the Weishas, with the Unknown coming out on top 16-9. Brushy, you did not win. You lost to Heatshock, which is no shame there. Heatshock's a fantastic player, having another great season.
Yeah.
What you got?
Those matches all happened on stream Sunday night, and they were ridiculously close. I'm proud to say that Heatshock did not blow me out in this series. There was chances, I think, for every game for me to maybe steal one of those last couple wins, but Druid definitely let me down. I was up 2-1 going into only having Druid left, and then Shaman and Rogue crushed me.
Yeah, Druid be like that sometimes. Unfortunately, that's kind of the class identity: is do you roll or don't you? And
exactly.
If you don't, you don't. So Heatshock picking up points, Roadrunner picking up points, and his first win of the season there for the Weishas. But Isocles with a sweep over Dr. Pyro, Solo Jazz with a sweep over Valdis, and then Ron Mexico with a win over Ufric. So this one, I thought it was going to be a win for the Unknown personally. I didn't have it exactly correct. But I think the big win there was Isocles. Dr. Pyro was 2-0, took 1 week off, but Isocles is having a legit season right now, and I think that if as long as he continues there, the Unknown will definitely be a contender there. Mako, you would like to interject?
Oh, he's got a finger up.
I guess fire doesn't always beat ice.
Oi.
Pokemon did me wrong.
They did do you wrong.
That's right. I mean, the Unknown's got motivation now. I got Ron hyped up for the rest of the season because I'm technically a higher seed than him. And, that makes him mad. So, Ron's about to come in here and crush the rest of the pro season.
We are 19 right now of viewers with Ron, so.
Oh.
If you're watching Ron's stream right now, I command you to leave that stream.
I'm sure they're listening to you right now.
So let's just fully swap. Everyone in Ron's stream comes here, and everyone in this stream go to Ron.
Get a raid from Ron. Be like, you raid, we'll raid, but then we don't raid.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when you were a kid, and you were like, just jump in the pool. We'll both jump in the pool at the same time. You both run up to the edge of the pool. They jump in. You stay on land.
Hold on, guys.
That just sounds like not a true friend.
Oh, that was my brother. That was me doing that to my brother.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
Hold on, I got it. I'm about to do something for THL here. Ready? I'm gonna hop in there. Double dog dare you to raid the THL Twitch. All right, he's got to do it now. We double dog dared him.
So the unknown, a big jump this week, 4 spots, and I think that the big jump, not to diminish the fact that you moved up 4 spots, Brushy. There's a lot of teams really close together. Everything from Tap Last at 57 points down to the Wishas at 52. So that's 5 points encompassing 6 total teams. Or sorry, actually it's 5 teams because I can add. That's good. 5 so it's 5 points separating 5 teams right there, all in the middle. And I think that is going to continue to see like a lot of flux on a week-to-week basis, especially as some of these teams play each other. And we're going to have to see who kind of floats to the top there as the season moves into the back half.
Yeah.
Derail the string with one message.
Yeah. No, I really like the unknown team. I like every single week I look at I'm making my picks and I keep picking like the individual players to win. I mean, they don't always live up to my expectations.
Yeah, half the time they let you
but
down, but
Yeah.
exactly half the 50% of the time works 100% of the time, but it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I think taking a win over the Wishas is great. Although this is not the Wishas of old. So yeah, so I think a bigger story here than unknown winning 16-9 is Wishas only putting up 9 points and being 1-3.
Yeah, they have as many losses
destroying
as they
last
suffered
season.
the entirety of last season in the first 4 weeks.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
Yeah, they're hanging out in 9th right now. They dropped 4 spots this week, the biggest fall of any team this entire week. And it should be noted too, their schedule is on the easier side so far, according to the AOS stats. So that might not get better for them. The unknown, yes, they've had an easier schedule, but they are still at least, further up in the rankings. Again, only 4 points ahead of Wishas, so everyone technically is still within striking distance. But mentally, it feels a little bit better to be where the unknown's sitting right now. You feel like you're in the thick of it a little bit more than if you just look at the standings and go, man, we're down near the bottom. So hopefully Wishas can turn it around this week. We will see, and we'll talk about that in the preview here. But we got another match to talk about. Tap Last versus the Windkeepers. It's a 16-9 win for Tap Last. Very similar score there, but the structure of how the match has progressed, very different. CMAC with a 3-1 win over Agent PWE. Cologne getting the sole win for the Windkeepers with a sweep over your Mumcad. Lawful and Easy Bake was a DQ, and then Typhoon with a win over G-Kick, and the last champ with a win over Free Hong Kong. So a lot of close matches there at the bottom there, 3-2, 3-2 Typhoon, and the last champ getting close wins. But the Windkeepers not putting up a ton of points overall, which will definitely hurt the bottom line. They did drop 1 spot down to 10th this week, and Tap Last now very much back in the hunt at number 5. So I like where Tap Last is going. Obviously, they're on the upswing. We knew this is a strong team. They're the defending champs. So none of this is a major surprise. I actually did not get many of these matches right. I had CMAC and Typhoon winning. I did have Tap Last winning, but I just messed up a lot of what was actually going to happen. So, Mako, I'll start with you this time. You were a very firm believer in Tap Last, and they proved you right. How did you feel about this match here?
You said we have one more match. We have 2 more. We have one more after this, right?
I know. I didn't say that we had one more match. I said we have another match to get to.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I heard you wrong. I got confused because I was looking for the Tap Last this match on our sheet and I couldn't find it because I was looking at the bottom, like the last one.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, I was a firm believer there. I picked Tap Last to win the 1 through 4, and then the only win for Windkeepers being Free Hong Kong. So, yeah, it's definitely threw me for a loop there. I mean, they won. I wasn't wrong, but I just thought they were gonna win harder. So yeah, whatever. It's fine.
All right. So Brushy, you were correct about every match that was played. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. The only thing I wasn't correct about was the DQ, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I felt good with the players I picked, and it's hard to pick against CMAC. I just had this weird feeling Clone was going to beat your Mumkhead and Typhoon and Last Champ. I don't know. We played them last year in the finals, and they're really good players, so I tend to pick them when I can.
Yeah, Tap Last, strong team. Not much else to say about it. They are much 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 more normal to see them where they are in the standings now than where they started the season. So I think that this will stay. They'll be competitive the rest of the way here. A lot of competition at the top now. I'm not saying that they're guaranteed a playoff spot or anything, but I think that they've proven that those first few weeks were kind of a fluke, and now they're back on track. So very important for them to do that. And speaking of getting back on track, shout out to Due Process here because they got their first win of the season, and it's their first win in quite some time over the Beard Boys, 18-8. So not only did they win, they didn't even just squeak by the Beard Boys. They absolutely took it to them, winning 4 of the 5 matches. Only Myanodon getting a win for the Beard Boys, but Goose, FBM2, Boolean, and Dr. BOMD getting their first wins of the season as well, in the 4 and the 5 respectively. So Due Process, we talked about it. Goose and FBM have been just absolutely out of this world. They're on fire. They're playing great, and it's just a matter of time till a couple other people won at the same time as them, and this was the week. So Brushy, I'll let you kind of take us through your thoughts on this one here because I thought this was an exciting outcome.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say that I love the new logos for Due Process and the Beard Boys.
Those aren't new logos. Are you being sarcastic?
I want you to look at them, Donde.
Fudge.
Oh, that took me a second too. Nice.
I must have screenshotted the wrong thing. I always try to screenshot in the exact order that it happened last week, and that way I don't have to switch the logos.
But it was nice of them to share, though.
These were fantastic new logos. I love them. Good job. Good job, whoever designed their logos. Switching it up mid-season.
Hey. All right.
Hey, they're back to their old logos. Wow,
there it is. All right. Anything of substance, Tuna?
So the Goose versus the Always Just in Time match was a match of the 2 undefeated, and Goose took that one in pretty close fashion. So that one's hard to predict, I think. Well, for me personally, but FBM2 or Valera's Bay in chat is crushing all of THL right now. I think he only has maybe 1 or 2 losses across all of THL, so hard to pick. Doing fantastic there. Myanodon with the win. Yeah, and the last 2 matches, kind of hard to predict those 2. I think like all 4 of those last 2 or all 4 of the last players there are pretty close in skill level, so it's surprising to see a 3-1 and a 3-0.
All right, Mako.
Yeah. So this. Hold on, I have the wrong part up. Did not go as wait. No, it did. They're flipped. Okay. No, yeah, it's exactly what I expected. Okay, never mind. Yeah, because I had Due Process winning. Sorry. Okay, let me explain my confusion. On our sheet, Due Process is on the right side, but on my screen on stream, Due Process is on the left side.
As I said, I took the screenshot of it backwards.
Yes, I got it. So so it messed me up. Yes, I mean I only got 2 of the matches right, being the 2 and 4 seeds here for Due Process. The other 3 got wrong, but I still predicted the Due Process win, so I'm gonna take that and run with it.
All right, well, congrats again to Due Process getting that W. Beard Boys, they are in last place right now, struggling a little bit here, but Due Process, five spots. They moved up 5 spots this week alone into 7th. So they are at 1 and 3, the best ranked 1 and 3 team right now, and very much alive.
Yeah, they're climbing the ladder.
And hopefully for them, this is like something that can be like a mental kind of, we got over the hurdle. We got over the hurdle of the first win. Now it's just time to go ahead and execute that every week. So if they can do that, they can be a playoff team. There's plenty of time left in the season to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see, it's not good to see as the record 1 and 3, but it's good to see that you're still middle of the pack with 3 losses in the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, it means you're not losing by a lot when you lose.
Right. Yeah, and that means your team's actually overall like super good, right? Because you're still putting up like, super good numbers week in and week out, even though probably most of those points are coming from your 1 and 2 seeds since they're both undefeated at the moment. But
absolutely,
nonetheless, it feels good to be 1 and 3 in middle of the pack of playoff standings.
All right, so we are done with week 4. We're moving on to week 5. Get out of here, week 4. But before we do that, we're going to talk about the player power rankings. And here's my disclaimer to everybody, anybody who's a new viewer, anybody who's been watching forever. I say this every season that we do this. So,
all right, so no one can get mad. Just listen to Donde.
No, you can get mad.
No, don't get mad. If you do get mad, just ping Arhat and argue with him.
Yes. So these are that's always the right answer. These are statistically based. They are not something that we decide on. I don't just say, yeah, I think so and so's number 4. We use a combination of your record, of course, and then your game score, but also take into account the players that you've played against and at the point of the season in which you played them. So if they are playing very well and you beat them at that time based on their record, you're going to get a bump. And if if the players that you're playing happen to have lower records at the time you play them, it won't help you out as much. And that's just kind of how most power rankings work in general anyway. So it's not really that revolutionary, but it does tend to create some interesting discussions when we see players who might have a better record being ranked lower than others. And of course, Legacy is even going to get a little weirder because there's also bye weeks that have happened already. Mm-hmm. And so you're going to see players that have 4 games played versus 3 games played. That's normal. So yes, Booze is sus right now, so I think I'm gonna get ejected out of the airlock very quickly here, but that's fine. Just don't hit the emergency meeting before we get through the PPR. So, all right. Without further ado, we are going to talk about the honorable mentions of Legacy. So these are players 11 through 15. Dominated by Gold, Anfall 3-0, Noglako 3-1, Basting 3-0, Bill Snyder 3-1, Bitbeaker 3-1. So it's safe to say, for the most part, you got to have at least 3 wins so far to be at least in the hunt for the top 15. So these are all players that are having great seasons to start with. I mean, not much else to say. Everyone's doing so well. I think it's funny that Basting has a 3-0, 9-5 score, while Bill Snyder's 3-1 and 9-5. But other than that, these are all great players with great scores so far. Based, you're not 4-0 unless you've already played this week in Legacy.
Base did play this week in Legacy and went 3-1.
Okay, well, that don't count on these standings.
Yeah, you're cheating, Base. We're in the past still.
You don't get a bump this week, or you don't get a bump this week for something that happened, or last week that happened this week. So, do you guys have anything to say about these players before we show the actual top 10?
Nope. Other than they're all amazing. But, I mean, you get that just from them being on the screen.
That's true. I was hoping you guys would stall a little bit while I click buttons.
Oh, sure. It's amazing to see Base won.
Okay, you're done. I've got it.
Stuff last year. She's still kicking butt this year. Base is OP. Please nerf. Is that what you wanted, Donde?
Yes, thank you. All right, so on to the actual top 10. And I did say that you got to have probably 3 wins. There are 2 exceptions to the rule. And this number 10 player is going to be the one that I think is the most probably controversial just because they're 2-2 compared to some of the other players. But hey, it's Hall of Famer Big Ted in number 10, Wicked Good at 9, and Mako at 8. Hey, look at you guys. 3-0 each there. JR Juggerlaw and Astral Frog also 3-0. So like 6 through 9 is all pretty much kind of almost a tie there. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Like everyone got pretty much the same record.
You want to know what else is 3-0?
Shaman.
My Shaman in Legacy.
Well, there you go.
So, I think that bumped me up a little bit more.
So, Wild 9 might be making a push for Rookie of the Season here. 2-1 in their first outing here in THL. Ridiculous Hat undefeated 3-0, and then we start to see the Red Conference take over in the top 3 with Durden, G-Kick, and Neji Boston 3-0, 4-0, and 4-0. Neji having just a great season in THL period, not just Legacy. G-Kick in Legacy and Hero. Won't be the last we hear of him tonight, but these are all great starts for all these players, and I'm interested to see how this standings progress throughout the course of the season. Mako, I want a shaman watch every week from you. We need you to tell us exactly how the shaman does every week from here on out.
I'm pretty sure I said that in like our content channel. I was like, can we get a shaman watch on Tavern Talk? Because I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that keeps bringing it in Legacy, and it's 3-0.
Well, let's find out. I'm gonna go check while you guys talk.
A couple of weeks ago, it was the only one, but it's fine. Just don't look at Hero, like I said. We don't talk about Hero.
All right. Well, speaking of Hero, we're going to talk about Hero now because we have the Hero Power Rankings as well, and these will be updated every week, by the way. So we will feature them every week. This is, like I said, it's a settled formula, so it's not something that like you can't figure out yourself. But it's always fun to discuss the players and get a little bit of drama out of this. So anyway, honorable mentions for Hero. We're going to see a couple familiar names and a couple new ones here too. Disco, Diamond, Boozosaurus, BrushyTuna somehow, and Ridiculous Hat still also in the honorable mentions. So Brushy, you're the 2 and 2.
I don't know how I'm on there.
Yeah, man. Strong W's will get you there. So
I'm on there.
I'd like to point out I'm not on here, and I'm 3-1. Not last night's match withstanding. So
what? I'm better than Donde?
I was gonna say
no one could have ever guessed that except for everyone.
if that lends any more like, actual like credence to the standings not being rigged, feel free to spam rigged in chat, the rigged emote. That's fine. This is I'm not even on the top 15. I'm 3-1. So there you go. Yes, Tuna has guns. He is jacked.
Oh, flexing. Got to flex on Donde when I can.
True.
Let him know.
Let him know.
Do I just have a better match win overall than you, Donde?
You have a better game. You had like more significant wins than I did.
I play in the 4 seed.
Yeah, but the players you were playing have better records than mine. That's how it works.
Okay. That's fair.
We don't criticize based on the seed you play in because that's not fair. I mean, a 5 seed, a 4 seed can be just as valuable as a 3, 2, or 1 seed. It doesn't matter. The wins count the same. The points that you earn are the same amount of points. You don't get like half a point because you won in the 5 seed. So there's no reason that
except for your THL channel points. Those don't mean anything, right?
THL channel points are made up and they also don't matter. So yes.
Those points are made up and they don't matter for the card.
All right. Well, here, without further ado, is your top 10. Wait. Astral Frog back again. Twos, Lemur, Kazargar, Dardar Binks, A2 Battleship, Agent PWE, Chewbacca, Itachi, and hey, there's that guy G-Kick at the top. Yeah, he's 4-0 in both series right now. Looking pretty good right now at 12-1. Pretty hard to even take a game off him, let alone a match. So that's really impressive. Just nothing else to say about that. We can see, as we normally do, more undefeated players in Hero typically than there are in Legacy every season.
G-Kick must be hacking. G-Kick isn't hacking because G-Kick in Legacy and Hero is tearing it apart. G-Kick in Pro and Wild is not tearing it apart. So G-Kick is not hacking.
1-3 in Pro right now. So
1-3, I believe, was correct.
Yes, I think in both.
He just always matches. Like those two always stick together, and the other two always stick together. His two records must always
Wild
match.
Player of the Week. Yes, so shout out G-Kick Wild Player of the Week. If G-Kick does not win Wild Player of the Week, I think we riot because that was an insanely nice gesture that happens if you did not catch that.
Well, go ahead, tell us what happened.
Yeah, tell the world.
Who was it Squirrel? Matt, MTG? Yeah. So MTG Squirrel, had his son, 8-year-old son, broke his arm or leg or something, and didn't play. So he's supposed to play G-Kick that night, and they were looking for a player. Yeah, Squirrel. Yeah, they're looking for a player to sub in, and G-Kick was very understanding, and and G-Kick is now gifting tier 1 subs to people. Jesus Christ. Saku, you really have a tough competitor here. So yeah, decided to said he'll loan the decks because he had the cards the cards needed for Squirrels, and I ended up playing him because I don't have any wild cards outside of Doctor Boom, because he's
It's a good wild
my
card.
bag. Yeah, that not the OG one, the hero card.
Less good.
But so he let me borrow his decks and we played our match, and I actually felt like a piece of shit for winning the match because he went like out of his way to be nice and everything, and I beat him, so I felt bad. But so wild player of the week, if it doesn't happen, then I think
we riot.
I think we revolt.
Yeah.
Well, good to hear. Not only is G-Kick playing very well, but also just a great person overall. Nice to see that. Gift and subs, just he's all over the place. So shout out to G-Kick. He puts the G in G-Kick. So G-Kick has stories, get him on a show. Yeah, why not, man? Let's get him on a show. Maybe not pro, since he's not playing in pro anymore, but one of the shows. All right. Well, before before we hover too long on one topic here, we were going to move on to the Week 5 preview as our last topic of discussion tonight. But before we do that, as a reminder, if you do like to sub to the channel, if you would sub to the channel, that is not a gift sub that G-Kick is providing you, because he's basically funding this channel by himself at this point, we would greatly appreciate it. It does help us continue to pump up prize pools for off-season tournaments. We are looking to do an upgrade to the website, so that's going to hopefully aid us in that, and just in general allows us to bring better content to the masses here. So always would like to have you consider subscribing. It is free with your Amazon Epic Ultra Gaming Prime subscription thingy that I never know the name of, and is now an internet meme. So go ahead and do that for free if you could use that on our channel. Much appreciated. But make sure to click notifications so you know when we are live, because rip Carlbot. All right, Week 5.
Carlbot.
R.I.P. Carlbot. Rest in peace, bro. You worked again for like 3 days, and he stopped.
Yeah, he tried. He's getting old.
It's a turtle, man.
Oh, look, we got another sub. Bach for life.
We did. Thank you,
Bach.
Bach.
I don't know who that is.
He beat me in Hero last night, and he apparently just feels bad, and he's just like, I'll give some money.
Oh. It's a pity. It's a pity sub.
It's a pity. We take those. If you're gonna beat me, you sub, then we're all good. You
take the pity subs. Yes.
We take the pity subs. All right. So no pity in this matchup here. This is a massive matchup that we're going to lead off with here in Week 5 of Hype Horizon versus Bad to the Bone. So these are, for all intents and purposes, two of, if not the best teams in pro. Two of like the top 3 or 4 teams. Not standings notwithstanding, I just think that they're both so talented with all the players that I think any of these matches being on stream would be amazing. So
yes, I agree.
Let's predict some stuff. So I think that as hype as this is, I have Adamos or Adam OS or Adam Dos winning in the 1, and then I have Hype Horizon taking everything else. So I think that is not to say that the players of Bad to the Bone are inferior. I just think that Hype Horizon is really figured this out. They're finding their stride. They're just going to be tough to beat. Brushy, I think you agreed with me if I remember correctly.
I think we have the exact same for this.
All right, then
you
Mako.
do have the same for this.
Then Mako,
I have almost the same. I have obviously winning in the 2, and then Cool Kid winning in the 1. So I have the 1 and 2 swapped compared to you two.
Yeah,
which is odd for me because I've picked McBanterface to win every single other week, just because I've gotten so used to his name on my nightly Asmodee sleep streams. But yeah, so I don't know. I thought I had this intuition. I was like, I tend to pick obviously as well, so I had to pick one, and I ended up settling with obviously. But I think that's going to be a super good match that really should be on stream if it's not already planned. And then we also have me underestimating Adamos again in the 1.
Yep.
As is tradition.
as is tradition.
For Canada and their world.
He is still undefeated, and Brushy and I believe that will be the case at the end of this week. But Hype Horizon, yeah, banging on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, Hype Horizon is Hype Horizon. So.
Yeah, gonna be tough for anyone to beat them at this point. And I think that's the thing, Bad to the Bone. Like, if any team is going to beat Hyper Horizon for the rest of the season, it might be Bad to the Bone. And we still, looking at this, just can't really see it right now. So Hyper Horizon, we'll have to see how this whole thing shakes out. But
for Bad to the Bone to beat Hype Horizon, I think it's purely on the 3 through 5 seeds. Two of them have to get a win.
Yeah, Sadaros at 1 and 3 is kind of shocking to see, just because he had that long streak of not losing in THL. He started out undefeated in that first season, and then rolled into the second season, still not taking losses in the first few weeks. So I have no doubt that he can right the ship. There's no question there that all the players in Bad to the Bone are capable of winning. If I can beat Liquid Ox at some point, I'm sure Lotus Knight can do it too. So it happened. It was after Liquid Ox played 18 straight hours of Hearthstone, and he was very tired. But you know what? We'll take the handicap when we can take it. That's fine. Whatever. But Lotus is definitely capable of picking up a win, and A2 as well over Gamer RVG. But yeah, I just think it's going to be tough for Hyper Horizon to lose probably the rest of the season, honestly.
Yeah, they're looking. They're looking how we all thought they would. So
you know who they haven't played yet?
Aeon, Unknown,
Aeon,
Beard Boys,
Aeon. No, I was just pointing out the Aeon. I don't give a shit about the other ones.
Oh yeah, the Aeon match is coming up. But speaking of Aeon, match number 2 we're discussing this week is For the Boys versus Aeon. So Aeon has what is going to be probably their toughest test of the season so far, because For the Boys is still undefeated.
Yep.
So this is going to be a big one. Yours truly playing Buck Nasty in the 1, Neji and German Shep in the 2, Markshire and Mata in the 3, Arhat versus Fischel in the 4, and Risen versus Dabs in the 5. So every player in this game has at least a 500 record so far, and that won't be the case. Mathematically speaking, it cannot be possible for everybody to be over 500. But I think that Aeon will beat all the players that are over 500, because I still think we sweep. It's the easiest pick of the week for me. Mako, what's your pick, I wonder?
Let's save me for last.
Oh, okay. Tuna.
All right. So I got 3-2 for the boys. I have Buck Nasty in the 1, German Shep in the 2, Markshire and Arhat in the 3 and 4, and then Dabs in the 5. That's what I got for this week.
So, all right. I know they're looking at my picks here. How do I word this? I'll say what I said last season or earlier in the stream, and that's my picks do not affect the outcomes of the matches that my players play. So I do have Aeon losing the week 2-3. So yeah, I have my own players losing. I have Donde losing, which was a given. And then I have Neji winning in the 2. There's one. And then Mata winning in the 3, Arhat in the 4, and Dabs in the 5. So we're just never going to speak of this after this happens here. Okay? We're all in agreement. This never gets spoken of again.
I mean,
good.
Donde bounced, so he's the only one that would ever bring it back. So
I think he's pissed.
Yeah,
he's super pissed off.
I mean,
he's like, how dare he?
Yeah,
how dare he?
You picked 3 players against your own team. I mean, that's some next level stuff right there.
So I mean, one of them was a given. It was basically the other 4, right?
I mean, so one was a given, and then the 2 of them were a given, and then you kind of went against that with
at this point.
Amada and
at this point, I have 66 points. You have 69. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we have different points now because of
True.
results.
Okay. Sorry. I have 68 points and you have 70, so I'm down by 2. I have to start thinking about, do I put my pride aside and try and win these weeks when it comes to our predictions? And so I think I've landed on the answer to that being yes. I have to put my pride aside, and I have to, like I said, my picks do not actually affect the outcomes of my players' matches. So I'm just,
you're
you're
doing this purely to try to surpass me in HearthCenter picks.
It's nothing personal against my team. It's
you gotta take some risks. I know, I get it.
Exactly. Yeah. You gotta burn. It's not everything's all sunshine and rainbows. So
no, I'm with it. I like the idea behind it. I mean,
all right.
We're halfway through the season, and I'm in first. So obviously, if we keep this up, theoretically, mathematically, I'll win in the end. So, you gotta change it up and go against the groove to try to.
Exactly.
I like it.
Exactly.
Sorry about the bail. Real quick.
No one cares.
It's all good. Well, Matt and I was wondering if my entertainment center was clean, so that's probably in his eyes just going to clean it again. No, I had two objectives. One was to find the charging cable for my headset, which was dying, and so now I have it. So that's cool. But all right, so we can move on. Now we've talked about Aeon enough. We can move on to match number 3 here. Tap Last versus F2L.
Yep. And we have a result.
We have a result. Yes. So we all picked pure before the result, I believe. Or did we?
We know the rules. We know Mako's rules, so
I see.
Okay. It's pure.
So personally, I had a 3-2 win here for F2L, with Lawful Dog and CMAC winning for Tap Last, which we were correct about across the board with Lawful Dog winning. So the totally non-biased, non-cheating picks of Mako, what did you think was going to happen in this match?
He didn't cheat. There's no cheating.
No cheating.
There's no cheating.
What are you talking about, bro?
Okay.
It was no cheating. So I had CMAC, Lawful, Typhoon, and Champ winning for Tap Last, and then Rescue Rabbit winning for F2L. So I have a 4-1 going towards Tap Last. And yeah, okay. So maybe I looked at the results on our official TeamHearthLegends.com page before I entered my picks. Was the result entered into our Google Sheets? The answer to that question is no. So I'm going to go with I can't help if a match was played before I did my picks. So, say what you want, but unreal. Get off. I hear your crap.
All right, Brushy. How do you feel about this one?
All right. So I have 3-2 for Tap Last. C-Mac's gonna bring Face Hunter. No one's gonna ban it, so he's gonna win. I had Lawful earlier today over Itachi. And then I have Typhoon over Berserk, and then the last two I want Rescue Wabbit into Jammies for the 3-2 Tap Last. But overall, I think this will be another like 14-12, 14-11 week.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, even though I have F2L winning it, I think that's completely correct.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this is I think it's interesting. We had a lot of matches this week of teams that are kind of around each other in the standings. Like F2L and Tap Last, even though there's 3 ranks between them, only 4 points separate them. So this is a big week here that I think is really, we're going to see like kind of a shift in the standings of like the haves and the have-nots, so to speak, where you've got the teams that really kind of have the huge advantage will be up in that like top 6 range, and then there'll be a little bit of a divide there between 6 and 7. So we'll see how this shakes out at the end. But more matches, more. Unknown versus Due Process, with the logos are on the correct side of the screen. Brushy, thank you. Make sure to get Unknown correct for you.
Giant question mark in the middle of it.
Giant question.
It's hard to put it anywhere else.
It is. So this one's a fun one. Another one that. Did you say nah?
This is an easy prediction for me.
Of course it is for you. Why don't you lead? I'll let you lead with your prediction. Did we lose Brushy? Is he froze?
Yeah, Donde, you're messing up here, bud.
I'm messing up? I hear you just fine. We lost Brushy. It's the hotel Wi-Fi, man.
I'm
He's still
semi here if you
talking.
guys can hear me or not. It's
Well,
nice.
we hear you, but your internet's dying. So I'll take over the picks to start with then. So I have this as a 3-2 due process win, second week in a row. Due process gets a W. Goose and FBM, easy picks, easiest picks of my life right there. Still undefeated, will be undefeated. And I think Dr. BOMD gets a win in the 5. Brushy, I think you and Ron, the dynamic duo, will get a W in the middle. But I think it's going to end up going to due process. Mako, what do you think? Did we just lose everybody? Uh-oh. I'm the only one left? Donde stream. It is now a Donde solo stream. All right. Well, we'll see if the cams pick back up. Brushy popped back in briefly. I don't know if he can even hear us. Brushy is he's typing, so he can at least see what's going on. Yeah, Donde Lawful. It is extremely sus right now. I am clearly the imposter, and I've stabbed both of them. All right. Well, while they get back online, I'll read their picks to you guys, so that way maybe they'll get back in time.
Okay, can you hear me?
Hey, Mako's back.
Bro, I don't know what you did to me, but
I didn't do nothing.
I couldn't hear
man.
anything.
That's a Discord error.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Call an emergency meeting.
I'm blaming it on you.
Call an emergency meeting if you're so concerned.
And now it's doing it again.
Oh man.
Am I back? You guys hear me?
We hear you. We don't see you, but we hear you.
Y'all sound like robots. Like I don't know if people can hear me, but like I can't hear crap. Like it's just like pieces. And now I look like a JPEG.
Well, we can hear both of you, and it's coming through just fine to me. Brushy's apparently mobile-fied again. And he's out. Alright, anyway, since neither of them can hear what's going on. So Mako has this as a, let's see, it's a 3-2 win for the unknown, with Goose and FBM taking the top spots. Brushy obviously went with a sweep for the unknown, so that's going to be the most obvious thing that you've ever heard of. Not surprising, not going to happen. Moving on to the next match. We got a schedule to keep here. Weishas versus Canadian Clown Fiesta. This one should be a little bit closer, I think, this week than it was for CCF last week. The Weishas are definitely struggling a little bit more than some of the other teams that they've played so far. So I do have this as a 3-2 win for the Weishas. I think Heat Shock, Dr. Pyro, and Roadrunner will get the wins, with Phoenix and Corridon getting W's for Canadian Clown Fiesta. Oddly enough, the picks for all three of us were all 3-2 Weishas, but we all had different ideas of how that we would arrive there. So, for example, Mako has Heat Shock winning, Valdis winning, and Roadrunner winning, and then Brushy has Heat Shock, Valdis, and Ufric. So Heat Shock, the common thread between all of our lineups, or all of our picks here. So we'll have to see. I'm sorry, no, Heat Shock, Valdis, and Ufric winning for Brushy there. So. Sorry, this is not as engaging when I can't have a conversation with other people, but we're doing what we can to make sure the stream survives, and we are almost to the end anyway. Our final match of the week: Windkeepers versus the Beard Boys. Windkeepers with the only sub of the week so far. Nails will be playing, and that is the spot formerly occupied by G-Kick. Personally, I have this one as a Beard Boys win, 3-2, with it looks like there's actually a result in this one. The Inzi Free Hong Kong match happened with Free Hong Kong winning. I actually had Inzi winning, with Myanodon and Just in Time getting W's for the Beard Boys. So that throws everything kind of a wrench in my plans. Mako believed in Free Hong Kong with a win over Inzi, so he is the only one to get this correct so far. But a 3-2 win for the Beard Boys is my and Brushy's prediction. And Mako had a 3-2 win for the Windkeepers. BrushyTuna is apparently streaming from outside.
Yeah, I had to go outside to get any kind of service for my phone because the entire internet died in the hotel.
I'm just glad you can hear us, man.
I'm back.
I thought for sure someone got you.
Nah, I can't die.
This is the best content.
Impossible.
The best part is Mako can't hear us, but we can hear him.
Oh, perfect. This is going fantastic tonight.
It is good. I kind of kept things moving here. We're on the final match now of Windkeepers versus Beard Boys. So if you have any last second thoughts about that before we wrap up.
Who's the 1 seed match?
Agent PW versus Justin.
Did I have Justin or Agent? I think I had Justin, right? Or did I go against him?
No, you had Justin.
Yeah. I know I had Myanodon. That's for sure. That's a given.
Yeah, we actually have the same picks here, and we were both wrong about
nice.
Inzi so far because Free Hong Kong did win.
Oh, Pong got his first win? Nice.
Yep. Yeah, both Free Hong Kong and Inzi were trying to get their first W of the season, and Free Hong Kong got it this to kick off this match. So, nice. So this was not the ideal end to the stream. I love Mako.
Yeah, but this is a great ending.
Mako is not talking, but he's just kind of mean mugging over in his chair there. We can all see him, so I hope he does something embarrassing. That'd be great. But other than that, that's it for us. Sorry about the ending of the stream, kind of dying, but we got Tuna on the go, mobile Tuna, and so anything you want to say before we head out tonight, Tuna?
We should make this a every Wednesday thing where I just randomly go outside halfway through a show. Just
it's
skip all the middleman stuff where we wait for the internet to crash and see what happens. I just pick up and just leave halfway through the show now.
That would be the most exciting part of the show.
Vote on it in the chat. You have until the end. If we have more votes for yes, I'll do it. Donde, you have to be the judge because I can't open chat right now.
That's true. Maybe if you paid for good internet, says Fawn. Well, it's the hotel.
It's the hotel. Yeah.
It's the hotel.
I'm not gonna choose. Yeah, stupid hotel.
So I mean, I guess you could maybe if you got a suite or something, they would have. Oh,
I have the best room in this hotel.
Oh, well, there you go then. So you have the best internet. Sucks to be everybody else.
Apparently, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what their internet situation is, but it must suck.
CMAC is calling the segment Tuna Goes Downstream.
Oh.
I'm up for that. That's good.
I'm up for that. All right, I'm in based on that alone.
Well, I think we're gonna make this a permanent thing. So this is fun, and then you can just show us what what you're seeing out there. This is like, it's a.
I see a tree. Look at this beautiful tree.
This is THLIRL right now.
THL's first IRL stream is because my internet sucks. I love it.
That's fun. All right, well, that's it for us tonight. Thanks everybody for joining us. Sorry about the end. Like I said, best of luck in all the matches the rest of the week to everybody who has still to play. Please feel free to join us again tomorrow night for Legacy. That's Tavern Talk at 9 p.m. Eastern. We will have matches, of course, running throughout the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So check back, and we'll go ahead and post a schedule in the Discord for that. That is it. Have a good night. We will see you next week, same time. Thanks again. Mako, I know you can't hear us, but thanks again for being here. And Tuna, I know you can.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just gonna say bye. I don't know if you're talking. I can't hear shit. So
somehow he perfectly timed that, which is amazing.
He might be listening on like Twitch, and it's like Twitch is like slightly behind us.
Awesome.
So,
all right, guys, have a good night. Thanks everybody for coming. See you next week.